Today we're talking about why being around an INFJ is like taking drugs. You probably know the saying of, I don't do drugs, I am drugs. This is something that is just perfectly made for an INFJ. It is something that I feel represents how we feel all the time. And it's something that we could say has been, mirrored back to us from people over and over again. There is something that makes people feel like they're changing their reality once they're around us. That's a reason why people put us on pedestals. That's why people have a very intense reaction to us. It's because we make them see the world in a different way. And this could be a very great thing if it just stayed this way. But it isn't. It always causes some kind of problem along the way. There's always some kind of reaction that doesn't make us feel good, that doesn't make the other person feel good. And it always seems to spiral out of control in a negative way. Carl Jung explained it the best. I can't quote it perfectly, but the essence of it is, as long as you keep something on a subconscious level, you will always call it fate. Once you make a problem conscious, once you recognize what is going on, you can actually take control of it. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about why others experience being around an INFJ in a sort of reality changing way, what that means for us. Is it something we should continue on living out? Is it even something we have control over? And if we do have control over it, how we're going to use it to change our life for the better. Before we get started, if you haven't done this so far, then download the poster on the 5 pillars to an INFJ Epic Life. And if you want to take it to the next level, then get the INFJ Epic Life audio guide. There are also testimonials where you can see what other INFJs thought about the program, and I'm very confident it will be helpful to you as well. All the information you find in the links in the description. If we're talking about INFJs being like drugs, it really is all about like a mind changing experience. It really is about, I see the world differently. There's something that just changed. I am in a parallel universe because that INFJ in my life has just opened my eyes. And it's not even something where you can say, oh, the INFJ just showed me some kind of truth and now I see it. No. The way we go through life makes other people see the world differently. We're not doing that to them. We're not, showing them something and then once we leave, they, take that with them. It's like we become a mirror to something they haven't seen before. And that is something that actually every single person on earth does. If you meet somebody, the way they talk to you, the way they see life, the way they see you, the things they, care about, the, little nuances that happen on a level that is not even, conscious. It's not like what they say or exactly what they wear, but it's an overall thing that mirrors back to you how you see the world and maybe some facets that you haven't been aware of. And you as an INFJ experience this with other types as well, right? When you're around, that's an ESTP, this very often makes you feel very alive and, there's adrenaline pumping through your veins because that person does things so quickly that your mind just starts thinking in a different, more down-to-earth way that is more full of drive and all of that. Or when we're around an INFP, it sort of feels like we're more in this dreamlike world. When you're around an ENFJ, there's such an intensity to emotions and to just experiencing life so vividly, right? So there are aspects to that for every type. But the INFJ expands realities. And not in a way an ENFP or an ENTP would, as in, they show you different ways you could look at a certain situation. No. The INFJ is all about the underlying message. The INFJ is all about the grand vision. The INFJ is all about the holistic worldview. And that's why we as INFJs very often and easily can tell when somebody is not living in an authentic way and they're lying to themselves because they're not living out their own truth. Because we connect with them on a subconscious level. We recognize what they are about, like on a bigger scale, right? Not just what they currently say or do. And most people don't know that about themselves. They only see it once they encounter an INFJ. And that makes them have a very strong reaction. Because this isn't just about, oh, I experience life more vividly, or I'm more in a dreamlike world, or there's more adrenaline in my life. No, it is all about looking within and hitting those subconscious level where so much pain is hidden. That's why so often other people have such an intense reaction to the INFJ, right? It's like we remove the veil and we show them all the places that aren't the way they're supposed to be. We show them a different kind of world. And we're not doing that because we go out and we say, now I'm going to show you the real world. Now I'm going to show you what your subconscious looks like. Now I'm going to be drugs for you. No, we do that by just showing up and being ourselves. The more you actually alter the way you show up, the less people are going to see it this way. Meaning, if you have an encounter with somebody and you have that reaction from the other person that you feel, okay, I've actually hit a nerve, positively or negatively. There's some kind of deeper reaction there. I made them experience life differently than it was because you showed up authentically. What most INFJs do after that, though, is that because that person becomes vulnerable, they see that you've seen such important aspects of them. They see that you have connected with them on a deeper level. That person freaks out, right? Because they've become vulnerable. And once they become vulnerable, you actually crave that connection so much. So not only does the other person act in a weird way of, oh, I'm now, able to be hurt, so I pull back. I have put the INFJ on a pedestal and now I just remove myself. It's too intense for me. But also you as an INFJ have a very strong reaction because you see what you're able to evoke in the other person. And we as INFJs get addicted to that feeling, because it makes us feel needed, because it makes us feel valued. And once we feel that, we backpedal. We don't stay in our authentic selves. We actually think about, why has this person, moved back? Why do they have such an intense reaction? Why is there some kind of problem? Why do they feel like they're not safe around me? And then we start doing things in order to make the other person feel comfortable. While we're doing that, we're saying two things. First off, I am not allowed to be the way I am. Because if I was, why would you, backpedal? Why would you have to prove to them that you didn't do anything wrong, that you didn't have any bad intentions? Why do you feel the urge to explain yourself in any kind of way? We also feel that this person is maybe the first person or only the fifth person who's really understood you. Because now they've given you a feedback of, oh, you're somebody special. You made me change my world. Both of those reactions, the other person's reaction as well as your own reaction, shows the INFJ that there's something wrong with us, that this shouldn't be the case. Why is it so difficult for them to feel safe around us? I just meant like no harm. Is there something wrong with me? I'm just trying to be myself, and that in itself, causes so much problems. And this is definitely out of the ordinary. The point though is that we are very skilled at being somebody else. We're skilled at making other people comfortable. We're skilled at removing this drug-like, experience for others when they're around us, because we don't want to cause this kind of tension. We don't want to make other people uncomfortable, and we don't want to make ourselves uncomfortable. And that is actually what is the biggest problem, because we have been taught since childhood that the way we are is just wrong. It's not that people have told us blankly, you're wrong, although some have actually said that, of course, but it is actually because we haven't had the role models. We haven't known other INFJs. And if we have known them, they haven't lived out their INFJ-ness so openly. Thankfully, we live in a different time now where we see through the internet that we're not alone, that we can connect, that, it is completely okay to be the way we are. And the more we see that, the more we show up that way every single day. You know what happens then? The people for whom our way of living is too much or too weird or whatever, stay away to some extent. Or people see us for the first time and appreciate what we're doing. and who we are. And we're not doing this in order to stop it someday because there's some kind of reaction. No, we say, this is who I am, this is how I'm showing up. And yes, that might make other people see the world differently, but it's not going to change how I approach my life. I'm not going to alter it. I'm not going to numb it. I'm not going to dull it up in order to make other people uncomfortable. And I'm also not going to wait for other people to get it, to have some kind of, reaction to it. None of that. No, we start living in a way that feels authentically to us. And there's absolutely nothing drug-like or reality altering to us. This is our way of seeing the world. I also don't see the world as an ESTJ does. I don't want to be around ESTJs all the time because this is just psychologically difficult for me, right? This is probably the type that INFJs have psychologically the biggest problems with. And so if other types and other people have difficulties, being around you while you're being yourself, then that's just, how it is. And we're not going to care anymore. But we have to get to this place because in the end, you are the main character of your movie. You're not there to be a drug to others. This might be something that evokes such an experience within others, but it actually has nothing to do with you. It's about how they experience you. And what other people think about you or how they experience you is none of your business. What our business is that we live life authentically, that we are bold in our truth, and that we decide that's how I see the world, and that's what I think is right. This is what I value, and I'm going to push forward into that. I'm not going to look left and right and think about what might make other people uncomfortable or comfortable. No, you have the right and the prerogative to be yourself. There's absolutely nothing that is weirder about you than there is about any other person. The only difference is that there may be more of the other person's type around you than, their INFJs. But in the end, if it's two people and you have one INFJ and you have one ESTJ, both of them see the world differently and every single one of them has the right to see the world the way they see fit. So take that with you. Be bold in who you are. Be proud of who you are. And don't make yourself small just because other people have, an intense reaction to that. It's not about them, it's about you. Remember, if you want some more guidelines into how to build that, self-confidence up to make that happen and how to have the strength to pull through and to push through, then get the 5 pillars to an INFJ Epic Life posture. And if you want to take it to the next level and you want to invest some time into this, then get the INFJ Epic Life audio guide and you will see amazing results. All the information you find in the links in the description. And if you want to watch another video now that is in alignment with today's topic, then watch the video. Once the INFJ accepts their mind-blowing nature, this is what happens.